South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sports book and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty, time to get started on this Friday show, the Friday before the Super Bowl. This is the Race Day Las Vegas radio programming coming to you live and direct from this gaming and Super Bowl capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here on the Las Vegas Boulevard Strip at the South Point Hotel Casino in the South Point Studios. We welcome you to the show. Hounds cranking it up and getting it ready. No doubt about that, that's for sure. And, of course, we'll be also looking at a lot of the racing over this weekend as well, as we kind of combine the two for a big weekend here in Las Vegas. We welcome you to the South Point Studio streaming at YouTube, and don't forget, just go to YouTube, punch in South Point Studio. When you get there, you can see us, you can hear us, and, of course, we always ask you to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and it's free of charge, and you can keep on top of all the things that are happening with the South Point Studio by subscribing there. A lot of great stuff happening here. We got two great sports shows that you have to absolutely, it is a must-see, especially this weekend. These guys are going to be all over town. This network, the South Point streaming at YouTube, are going to be doing a special 5-minute segments throughout the day leading up to the Super Bowl, with people around the town checking out what's going on in the Super Bowl, including following the players right from where they're staying out at Lake Las Vegas right to the Allegiant Stadium. So you'll have to see that. It's really getting exciting here, that's for sure. And I do want to mention one thing before we get started, but I do want to welcome all of the folks listening to us on all of the different platforms that we have, especially here, of course, at the South Point Studio streaming at YouTube, but also here in Las Vegas, our anchor station, our anchor radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM and 107.1 FM. Those are the stations here in Las Vegas for radio listeners. Oops, button didn't work. Okay, and of course, on our website, streaming at racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global. iPhones, Androids, taken care of with the KSHP app that you put on there, so you can hear us now on your devices, and certainly anywhere you get your podcasting, we're there as well. So we welcome you to the show. On today's show, we got Jonathan Hardon, of course, coming back. We're going to talk a little bit about the Sam Davis, the only race this weekend that has Kentucky Derby leaderboard points, 20 of them, as a matter of fact. There's a couple of races that have the Kentucky Oaks leaderboard points up for grabs as well. And there's a race this weekend. It's a Derby, and it's a race that will be a win, and you're into the Preakness Stakes, the middle jewel of the Triple Crown, by winning that this weekend. So we'll touch upon that as well. Of course, Rich Ing will be along to give us the latest on the Super Bowl odds, and, of course, a suggestion for a few more prop bets out there. Prop bets right now here at the South Point. Jimmy Vaccaro indicated yesterday that here the betting at the South Point, of course, a lot of the betting will come in on Sunday, but the pre-betting going on here at the South Point, so far the prop bets and the regular game bets are running about 50-50 right now. People, they like to bet the prop bets just to have a lot of fun while watching the game as well. And, of course, Jerry Jackowitz will be with us for a couple of selections at Aqueduct, and John Lindo is doing a Gulfstream sheet, so we'll get a pick from him for Gulfstream as well, and finding out what's going on in Southern California. But I got to tell you now, we're talking about national, international broadcasting all over the place. You go all over town and you'll see these set up studios, and all the celebrities are here. All the broadcasting celebrities are here doing shows not only from Radio Row, but at the stadium, etc., here at the South Point Studios, etc. But, folks, I got to tell you, yesterday was jaw-dropping here in the sports book. Here in the sports book at the South Point, we had two celebrities. I mean, big, huge, billboard type of celebrities that came here to make a bet on the Super Bowl. And we do have some video of that. Here they are. The Budweiser Clydesdales made their way into the book, standing in line with everybody else, as you can see, and they placed their bet on the Super Bowl. I mean, they were kind of, talking to each other, seeing what's going on, and finding out. They were looking at the board, seeing the odds. They want to get the best odds going, and, we want to find out if they have a proposition bet or nothing. But here they are majestically walking into the casino for their bets here at the South Point. No other casino in the world gets these big stars to come in and place a bet. They did it yesterday here at the South Point. So, but I got to tell you, they're big. So, they can't kind of be slipping away and all that stuff there. But I thought I might have seen one kind of slipping away into the race book, maybe making a bet on a relative or two. We'll wait and see about that. That's for sure. Anyhow, a lot of great fun going on here. Of course, the Budweiser Clydesdales will be part of all the celebration here up and down the Strip for the Super Bowl. And no town does it better, that's for sure, than Las Vegas, Nevada. Turning our now sights to horse racing, as we say, this weekend we have, of course, the Sam Davis for the Kentucky Derby points. We've got the Las Virgenes that was supposed to run last Sunday when Santa Anita canceled for the Kentucky Oaks. 3-year-old fillies going in that race. That's 20 points there for the Kentucky Oaks. And the Suncoast Stakes, which is part of the stakes races out at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has 4 stakes races tomorrow. The Suncoast and, of course, the Sam Davis, 2 of those. The Suncoast has 20 Kentucky Oaks points as well in that. And as I say, the El Camino Real Derby at Golden Gate coming up this weekend will be a win in your end for the Preakness Stakes. Now, of course, as you know, the same company owns Pimlico Racecourse as Golden Gate. And so in order to promote the middle jewel of the Triple Crown that is run at Pimlico Racecourse, the Preakness, the winner of the El Camino Real Derby will have a win in your end for the Preakness Stakes. I wonder if Bob Baffert will try to win that and skate into the Preakness Stakes. By the way, Bob Baffert's Pegasus World Cup winner, National Treasure. It is now official. He's going to be going to Saudi Arabia for the Saudi Cup coming up at the end of the month. I think it's next weekend, as a matter of fact. So National Treasure will take the Pegasus World Cup mantle and take it into Saudi Arabia for the big Saudi Cup there at Riyadh. All right, we're getting all set and ready to go. And let me see. I don't see any Clydesdales around right now. They're probably having their breakfast. So don't go away. We'll be right back with the Race Day Show. Get started covering racing Las Vegas style. And, of course, getting all jazzed up for a special weekend here in Las Vegas and here at the South Point. Don't forget, South Point's got it all going on. Big parties here. We're going to be televising a lot of stuff here on the network here, so get ready and set. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. 2 days to go until they kick it off. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Okay, back on Race Day Las Vegas, the Coast to Coast Pick 5 that, of course, goes from Santa Anita to Gulfstream Park. The Coast to Coast Pick 5 races over those two tracks each Saturday and Sunday. Of course, last Sunday it was canceled because Santa Anita canceled due to weather. By the way, we'll remind you again today, as we did yesterday, Santa Anita is not running today. It is not running today, but it has nothing to do with the weather. It has a lot to do with protecting the horses that need their exercise. They have not been, of course, racing over the strip in the morning either. They didn't have a chance to train over the track because of the weather recently. And so the track felt that the horsemen, in requesting that, they have a little bit more time to prepare their horses for the races in the afternoon, decided to take today's racing card, and they will put it into next Thursday as a special Thursday racing at Santa Anita. So the reason was the horses need a little bit more time to prepare for the racing cards. And so today's racing was canceled due to getting the horses properly, getting them ready for the races. It's really that simple. And so next week, because there's a holiday a week from this coming Monday, they're going to run from next Thursday, a special day. Then they'll do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then the Monday after, which is President's Day. So we're going to have 5 straight racing days coming up next week when racing resumes with the special card at Santa Anita on Thursday. No racing at Santa Anita today. But the Coast to Coast Pick 5 has been a very popular bet with a lot of people, and our friends over at Horse Racing Nation did a great job in breaking it down. They say of the 8 times the wager has been hit, amazingly, 4 of those times, the $1 payoff has been about 10 times the parlay or more. Only twice has the payout been less than 2 times the parlay over overall payouts average about 7.7 times the parlay, which is a tremendous value. They did a lot of good research on that. They break it down on the Horse Racing Nation website. It's a great website, that's for sure. All right, let's see what happened yesterday. Yesterday at Gulfstream Park, our handicappers kind of crapped out. But they'll be doing better today, I'm sure. But one guy that didn't crap out yesterday was jockey Luis Saez. Luis Saez won 3 races yesterday, and they were key 3 races yesterday at Gulfstream. He won half of the pick 6 races yesterday with his 3 wins, okay? Started out in the 4th race, the start of the pick 6 yesterday at Gulfstream, paid $7 even. You had a $9 winner in between, and then a $40.80 upsetter in the 6th race, which was the 3rd in the sequence in the pick 6. 7th race, Saez came aboard and won with a $10 winner. And then in the 8th race, Luis Saez piloted a long shot to win his third race of the day at $64.60. Last race winner paid $8.60. Luis Saez was really responsible for the payoff in the pick six. Well, it has to be a relative or something that won it for him, because I got to tell you, only one ticket put that together yesterday. That one ticket in the pick six, they took down the jackpot, $215,855.14 for that pick six. And whoever hit it better be taking Mr. Saez and his family out to dinner, that's for sure. The fives, the late pick five, the last five in that pick six sequence, the last pick five, 50-cent pick five, that thing paid $67,121.55 yesterday at Gulfstream Park. Time to get started with the racing menu for today. As you know, we always tell you that the racing menu, first post times are Pacific because we're in the Pacific time zone. These will be the first post times that roll out in our race books today. And so, remember, if you're here in the Pacific time zone, these will be the first post times in the Pacific. If you're listing anywhere else on any other of the platforms that we have around the world, adjust to the Pacific time zone, okay? Don't want you to miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad, all right? First post times are Pacific. Here we go. We begin with Gulfstream Park. There is no carryover in that jackpot. They emptied it out yesterday with one winner winning the whole thing. Gulfstream Park will, of course, start the pick six and its rainbow jackpot starting today again. First post time for 9 races today at Gulfstream is set at 9:10, 9:10, first post at Gulfstream. All right, then we go to Laurel Park in Maryland. And Laurel Park has a carryover in their pick six jackpot. That's $2,579. First post time at Laurel for their 9 races set at 9:25. And Tampa Bay Downs is next. Tampa Bay Downs has 9 races today. They got a nice pick six jackpot carryover going on. As a matter of fact, it's the highest pick six jackpot carryover in the nation today. Tampa Bay's pick six jackpot carryover, $94,934. 9 races, first post time 9:45. Then we go to the Big A Aqueduct in New York. Aqueduct has a first post time of 9:50 at Aqueduct today. They have 8 races on their card. We'll wait and see about the track conditions, etc. soon at Aqueduct. Oaklawn Park back in business today. Oaklawn Park has 10 races, and their first post time is 10:30. A lot of good, full, competitive fields today at Oaklawn Park. 10:30 first post. Then we go down to New Orleans for Fairgrounds. The Fairgrounds has 8 races today, and their first post time at the Fairgrounds with a pick six, a regular pick six carryover, $4,807. First post time at Fairgrounds is at 10:45. Sunland Park will kick in next. They've got a feature race today at Sunland, the $100,000 Jameson Memorial Handicap, 6.5 furlongs for 4-year-olds and up. It's the 9th and final race there at Sunland. 12 are entered. The 5-2 favorite there is Let Him Be in the Jameson Memorial. That's the 9th at Sunland. First post time for their 9-race card is set at 11:25. They got a couple of small carryovers at Sunland. Pick 5, regular pick 5 carryover, $1,393, and a super high 5 carryover there of $2,076. And again, first post time at Sunland is at 11:25. Then we go to Golden Gate, Northern California. Golden Gate has a first post time of 1:45 today, 1:45 at Golden Gate today. Make note of that. It's a different post time than usual, 1:45 for a 7-race card today at Golden Gate. And Golden Gate has a pick 6 jackpot carryover, $58,749. And again, their first post time is at 1:45. All right, next up comes Turfway Park. Turfway Park, of course, has a super high 5 carryover, $3,535 there. That's the super high 5 carryover, $3,535 at Turfway Park. They also have a pick 6 jackpot carryover, $22,497. That's their jackpot, pick 6 jackpot carryover. 9 races today at Turfway Park. First post time is at 2:55. Then we get the Penn National. Penn Nat, we call it. Penn Nat has a first post time of 3 p.m. They have a super high 5 jackpot carryover, $5,060. First post time 3 o'clock at Penn National for 8. Delta Downs will kick in with an 8-race card. They begin at 3:15, 3:15 at first post at Delta Downs. And then we wrap up the racing menu today with Charlestown races. They've got a pick 6 jackpot carryover, $34,667, and a first post time of 4 o'clock at Charlestown. And that is your racing menu today. And yeah, I know there's no Santa Anita on there. They've canceled out, but they'll be back with us tomorrow. And of course, a big week next week. And of course, a lot of great stakes, a lot of good racing going on at Santa Anita over this weekend. We now go to Jonathan Hardon standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Hello, Ralph. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I tried to get in line behind the Clydesdales, but they told me it wouldn't be a good idea, so I didn't do that.
I noticed there was someone with a garbage can and a shovel following those horses.
Yes.
That was probably a good idea.
Yeah. They just put new carpeting in here too, just a couple of days ago. So they're trying to christening the carpet. But they're very polite. They're big guys, but they're polite. They're not bullies. These guys. If you
go upstairs to the rodeo, because usually when I'm there at the South Point, they have the rodeo going on, but they were looking for their friends. They weren't there.
You know, a lot of people do not know, and certainly when you come to the casino here, if you've been here for the first time from out of town, you would never know that they do have stables here on property at the South Point. It's on the ground floor of the parking garage that they have, a multi-level parking garage. It's on the ground floor. You can't see it, but they got a whole bunch of stables there, and that's where the Clydesdales usually stay when they're here. And they come here a lot in the Clydesdales. So they're here for the weekend. You know, Budweiser, big sponsor for the Super Bowl. And if you remember, during the Super Bowl, many, many years ago, Budweiser started out with those really unique commercials of the Clydesdales. And it was such a hit that they kept doing it and doing it. And they're going to have a couple of special new commercials for the Budweiser Clydesdales on the Super Bowl telecast this week. But, the celebrities, the Clydesdales, they're here. And they're having a good time.
Why not?
Anyhow, back to horse racing. The Sam Davis coming up this weekend, the only one with the Kentucky Derby points. But I have a notion that when you took a look at that race, a bell went off in your head.
I love that race, Ralph. It's probably the best race. I did already 3 of the cards for tomorrow, and that race came up as the best race so far that I've seen, and it's a price horse. Stay tuned in tomorrow, and you will get that selection.
All right, okay. Well, there's a tease for you. We're going to get that selection tomorrow. What about the races for the 3-year-old fillies? You know, Kentucky Oaks Day, the day before on Friday of the Derby week, that's become a big day and a big race as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, they made it part of the Derby weekend, which it should be. Why shouldn't the fillies get some respect? And
they're running on Friday, so we always do ladies first, you know.
Exactly, like it should be.
Yeah. And do you think that this Kentucky Oaks is coming up as strong as some of the past ones? You know, you remember the days when Rachel Alexandra ran into it, et cetera. There's not like yet a really marquee Kentucky.
There's no name recognition yet in that race. I mean, the last couple of years they had Hoosier Philly. They had a bunch of. They had Lucas had a horse a couple of years ago, but nothing yet. But listen, it only takes 1 or 2 races to step to the front, and maybe it'll happen tomorrow.
Now, of course, Bob Baffert being banned at Churchill Downs, if he's got a couple of nice 3-year-old fillies that have been winning over in Southern California, but they're not eligible to run in the Kentucky Oaks either, right?
Nothing in Churchill. It's just crazy, Ralph. We talk about it every day, and he doesn't have to run in the race at Golden Gate because I'm sure I'll have 3 or 4 horses pointed towards the Preakness since he'll be sitting home on the first Saturday in May.
I don't know. You know, he might go somewhere on the first Saturday. Right?
Well, his horses won't be coming to Kentucky.
Well, why would you got to think he'll be out at Santa Anita? He's got to have horses running on that day. All right, so the El Camino Real Derby is a win and you're in for the Preakness because obviously the same owners own both racetracks and they're trying to kind of pump up the Preakness. You're right, Bob Baffert has no horses running in the El Camino Real because whether you're going to win or you're in or not, his horses will be represented in the Preakness, no doubt about that. And
it's kind of what Churchill does with the Jeff Ruby Stakes that they have at Turfway Park. You know, and they make like 100-pointer, if you remember, and it's a synthetic track. And if you win that race, you're in the Derby. And they do the same thing. They take advantage of owning, you know, multiple tracks, and they try to get some exposure for their, you know, their secondary tracks.
Well, yeah, and you know, guys who are prepping their horses for the natural dirt at Churchill Downs for the Derby sometimes will be kind of reluctant to go to Turfway Park to run on that synthetic track. However, when you're putting up 100 points and the kind of money they are, it's not a bad deal to do. And there have been some horses that have gone to Turfway for the Jim Beam, it used to be called. I don't know what it's called. The Spiral, I guess, is the general term for that race. But now it's the Jeff Ruby Stakes because Jeff Ruby
Didn't
is
Mage win it? I think Mage won it last year. I'm not sure. You know, I'm sure I'll hear about it if I'm wrong. But I think Mage won it and then went on to the Derby.
Well, and we all remember Animal Kingdom winning it
right.
Then too. So you know, yeah. But the El Camino Real Derby, it's nice that you don't have to get points or anything. You win that race, you're in the Preakness no matter what. And you're right, Bob Baffert doesn't have any horses in the race. There's 8 horses in there. Doug O'Neill sending one up, John Sadler, Michael McCarthy. You got Steve Speck is in there. He's based in Northern California, though. So it's going to be an interesting race. The race, Mike McCarthy has endlessly in that race. Umberto Rispoli is going to go up to ride, and that's the 2-1 morning line favorite. And John Sadler sends out a nice little 3-year-old by Tapiture Tapalo. And Evan Roman, one of the top jockeys in Northern California, will be riding that one. So we'll take a look at that El Camino Real tomorrow as well. But all in all, what do you think? That Coast to Coast Pick 5 is a darn good bet, I think, huh?
Well, it's a great bet. It's a dollar bet, which helps increase the pool size. And if they would use all the large fields like I keep plugging on this show, it would help it increase even more. They'd get more money in the pool. You know, last weekend they used 2 1-9 shots. One of them won and one of them lost. So, you know, it's a great bet and it's pays. So that really proves it's a good bet.
Well, I can tell you this, that certainly, you know, when you have 2 1-5 shots in it, people are going to be either singling one of the two or both of them. And when one of them goes down, all of a sudden the value is back in the bet.
Yeah, last week I was paying $62 to Fierceness, but he lost. So then it became value. I think it paid about $1,000 or something. So if you beat one of them, obviously you're going to get paid. The problem is, people are going to take shortcuts. You know, when you got full fields of 12 horses and wide open races, you're going to have to invest more money because you're going to have to spread unless you're going to gamble or whatever. But when you're giving people 2 what they consider free bingo spaces, it certainly has to cut down on the amount of money bet, I would think.
Well, we got another one happening tomorrow, and they've already got those races posted, the Coast to Coast Pick 5. They will be Gulfstream Park's 9th race. That goes about 1:06 p.m. Western time, Pacific time, 1:06, just a little after 1. Gulfstream Park's 9th race. Then you get Santa Anita's 3rd race. Then you go back to Gulfstream Park for their 11th race. Then back to Santa Anita for the last 2 races, 6 and 7. So you go Gulfstream, Santa Anita, Gulfstream, and then 2 at Santa Anita. There'll be 3 overall at Santa Anita, 2 at Gulfstream. The post time of 1:06 p.m. Pacific time. So we'll wait and see. And of course, John Lindo does a Coast to Coast Pick 5 here at the South Point on his Lindo Report. So it'll be interesting. I play it every week for a little bit here and there, you know, etc. You know,
What don't we do?
yeah. I stopped playing Tiddlywinks, though. I don't play that anymore. And I don't play the dogs, although some of my horses run as if they were canine.
Right.
In any case, let's get started. What do you got for picks today?
Well, we have a play at Aqueduct and a play at Gulfstream. Let's go to Aqueduct first and look at their 8th race. It's a mile on the main track. They only have 8 races today at Aqueduct. And I like the number 9 horse in here, Halo City. This is a 7-year-old mare that we actually gave out on the show the last time she ran about 8 days ago. She was claimed out of that race. She draws a good outside box. He brings her right back. Kendra Carmouche sticks aboard. 4-1 on the morning line. Number 9, Halo City, wins today's 8th race out at Aqueduct.
Reason for only 8 races at Aqueduct today, you think?
I don't know. I guess. But listen, there are 8 races, but then there really is only one short field. One race with 5 horses. The rest of them are full fields. So I'd rather have 1 or 2 less races with bigger fields. So maybe that's the reason they're doing it.
All right. In that 8th and final race there at Aqueduct, late scratches have come in, and in that race you have scratches of number 4, Timed Out, number 7, Hashtag Lucky, and number 8, Carol Girl. The 4, 7, and 8 in that race. So it makes, I think, the possibilities of getting this horse home a winner better with the number 9, Halo City, with Kendrick Carmouche. I like Carmouche. He's a solid rider, I think.
Yeah, he's strong, and he's great on the front end, and he's a good rider. Solid rider.
All right, 8th race, Aqueduct, the 9. All right, let's go to Gulfstream.
Let's go to race 8, 5 furlongs on the turf, and I like the number 1 horse in here, Future Is Now. This is a 4-year-old filly from the red hot Michael Trombetta barn. No one's hotter than Louis Sayers. He rides. She's listed at 9-2 on the morning line. She's the speed of the speed. She draws the rail. Number 1, Future Is Now, takes them gate to wire, today's 8th race.
All right, in the 8th race, no scratches in the 8th race at Gulfstream. In that 8th race, you like number 1, Future Is Now. We hope it is. Now in the winner's circle. Luis Saez aboard. The 1 in the 8th race at Gulfstream is your selection. I got to tell you, Jonathan, it was absolutely a surprise to see Luis Saez win on a horse that pays $60 and change. Wow.
Yeah, it's a funny thing, Ralph. We gave a horse out in that race, Jose D'Angelo's horse, the 8. Turns out the other Baffert one, the other Jose D'Angelo, at 30-1, which you don't see that trainer send out horses at that price usually, and he slipped through the cracks, I guess.
Yeah, the other philosophy works out a lot, as you say, in Southern California with the Baffert horses, but it certainly applies to trainers everywhere in a race. When a trainer has more than one horse in a race, a lot of times you'd be careful to take a saver, at least on this other horse, because a lot of times the longer price of the 2 horses usually gets there first.
The old the Baffert rule. It applies to every track in the country, I guess. It
certainly does. And in the old days, when they had an abundance of horses running in races,
we'd have entries.
You'd have an entry if it was an ownership, if it was a common ownership, and even if it was a partial owner. If it was common ownership, and certainly if it was a common trainer, they were always
always.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's the right thing to do. But since there's a shortage on horses, so they're trying to build up field size, so they have no option but to run them uncoupled. But personally, I don't think it's fair, because I would think that the trainer knows which one is better when he's sending them out for the most part.
And when, of course, they scratch one half of the entry, the old saying goes, why run 2 when one will do? So
exactly.
Yeah. In any case, we will. You gave us a little preview, a little tease for tomorrow. Sam Davis, you got a really nice horse that you like in there, and he ain't the favorite, right?
No, he's not the favorite.
Okay. All right. You got it. Now, you've got sheets today for Gulfstream and Aqueduct, but you also have one for Oaklawn Park too, right?
That's correct. We have 3 tracks going today. Obviously, Santa Anita scratched, otherwise we'd have 4. But today, 3 are going, and all pretty good betting cards.
All right. You got it, my man, and tell them where to get it if they want it.
JONHARDOON.com.
You got it. Thanks a lot, Jonathan. We'll talk to you. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
You got it, my man. Okay, coming up next, Rich Eng with the latest on the Super Bowl. See if we got some prop bets going, more prop bets that Richie can lay on us, that's for sure, on the pages and pages, rivaling the pages of the great book War and Peace. Okay? We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
All right, we're back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Friday, ramping it up for a big weekend here in Las Vegas. And, of course, that big game party they're talking about is the Super Bowl. And there are a lot of big game parties here on this big complex at the South Point. You've got the Grand Ballroom, the Exhibit Hall, the Napa Room, and all the showrooms here, and, of course, the books as well. They'll all be showing the Super Bowl on all the big screens around, and I got to tell you, these parties here are great. Big rooms, big tables, big TVs. You got betting windows, etc. Great food and drink specials. It's just the absolute place to be if you don't want to spend all that money in mortgaging your house to watch the game at Allegiant Stadium, which is right down the street. But we're going to have a lot of fun here. And who knows? Maybe the Budweiser Clydesdales will come out and watch the game with us. Who knows? You never know. Anyhow, the big game parties here at the South Point. Again, betting windows, self-betting kiosks are available, food and drink specials, free admission. I said free admission. Must be 21, and the doors will open Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. You got to be here. And on this particular network, on this streaming, we're going to be all over the place giving you updates on what's going on here and around town for the Super Bowl. It's going to be great. So make sure you're tied on with us, that's for sure. Rich Eng, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. And I really enjoyed that video that you guys showed with the Clydesdales and the sports book. I tell you what, I don't know if you could have a couple of thoroughbreds doing the same thing. They're a little more skittering, but those Clydesdales look like real pros. They just stood there and looked like they were enjoying themselves.
And now, the men who brought him in here are big individuals, and those horses are even bigger. I mean, these are massive horses. They're kind of like buildings walking through the place, but they are so magnificent. They are so well groomed and taken care of. So magnificent. It really is something else. Can't wait to see the new commercials during the Super Bowl with the Budweiser Clydesdales. Okay, update on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I checked while you and Jonathan were talking, and no movement. It's still San Francisco favored by 2 points, 47.5. And, as far as the movement, it's going to either happen on Saturday and or Sunday. And my only suggestion is if you like Kansas City, probably wait till Sunday, because if the line moves, I think it's going to move to 2.5 versus moving to 1.5. So that's just a word to the wise.
Now, I don't know who's charting all of the handicappers because we have, all the broadcasters from around the world and all the networks, et cetera. They have their opinions. And I know a lot of the handicappers, as well as ours on our show here, have their opinions as well. And I haven't obviously watched all those shows, but the shows that I have watched, a lot of those handicappers are leaning towards the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of the same reports, seen a lot of the same things on social media, the radio shows I listen to outside of race day. And, I think one of the biggest reasons for that is the Patrick Mahomes statistic of when he's an underdog in the National Football League. I believe it's up to 12 games, and his record is like 10 and 10-1-1 against the spread, and something like 11-1 straight up. I mean, it's just phenomenal to consider that Patrick Mahomes, whenever he's a dog, he's a dagger. I mean, he just takes care of the favorite. And
he's only 28 years old.
He's a GOAT, Ralph. He's gonna by the time his career is over, he's going to rival Brady, in my humble opinion.
All right, real quick, couple of props, and I understand you got a horse pick for us too.
Yeah, real quick, I want to give out a vanilla pick. I've given out a couple already with Purdy and Pacheco, but the more I study this game, the more I really like George Kittle, the tight end with the San Francisco 49ers. So I want to give out a vanilla pick. It's number 3403. It's Kittle receptions over 3.5. I really think that in the game plan from Kyle Shanahan, he's going to have Purdy throw a lot of short passes to Kittle over the middle. So I think 3.5 is a very doable number. So that's a vanilla pick. As far as some price plays, Ralph, I recommend, again, your folks still have plenty of time. Pick up this big report from the South Point with all the props in it. Let's go to one of the back pages, which is based on touchdowns, individual players to score touchdowns.
Okay.
The favorite to score the first touchdown are guys like Christian McCaffrey, Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco. But I think there's a lot of price plays that are worth considering. They include Deebo Samuel, who's 10-1. My man George Kittle, 10-1. Also, I've heard that the backup tight end, or the fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, is 40-1. And in the past, Shanahan has thrown a lot of balls to him down in the red zone and also run him in the red zone. He's 40-1, Ralph, so you can sprinkle a little bit there. Two kids for Kansas City that makes sense to me to try. One is Rashee Rice, the wide receiver, 10-1. And believe it or not, Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback, is 15-1 to score the first touchdown. I think that's worth a go because either he could quarterback sneak or he's been known to run with the football. Yeah. And I think he's going to run with the football a lot more in this Super Bowl.
All right. Now, of course, you didn't give any of the betting numbers, but they can pick up the sheet here at the South Point. You got betting numbers with them. Those are suggestions there. And again, that is to score the first touchdown, not the first score, because if they any team scores a field goal before a touchdown, doesn't matter. It's got to be the first touchdown, right?
That's correct. That's for the first touchdown of the game. Okay. And there's some other categories, including the last touchdown. Kittle is 10-1 on that. Then in the first 49er to score, you got Kittle and Juszczyk. And then also there's on the same page is winner of the MVP award. Usually it's a quarterback award, and so Purdy and Mahomes are the heavy favorites. But you might take a look at guys like McCaffrey, Pacheco, who are going to get a lot of action.
All right, time for a horse pick. We'll let you go.
Let's go to race 6 at Golden Gate Fields. It's a straight allowance. Let's go with the number 1, Zeus's War, 9-5 in the morning line. This horse has been off a year, but one thing about the PETA service at Golden Gate, they have not had to postpone any training. This horse has been working every 7 days for a couple of months now. So let's go 25 win place, 2 for the ROI. Number 1, Zeus's War in race 6.
All right, 6th race, the 1 horse at Golden Gate, number 1 in the 6th race. And, of course, Richie, you'll be back tomorrow with an update on the Super Bowl and your picks for Santa Anita tomorrow. Thanks a lot, Rich.
Hey, thanks, Ron. Good luck, everybody.
All right, we're keeping rolling along. John and Jerry will wrap up this Friday show. Don't go away. We will be right back.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
And, of course, proud to be that. By the way, right here on the South Point Studios, streaming at YouTube, a couple of great sports shows coming up today, as they are every day, and the Frank Nicotero with the punchlines, and he's all over the place this week, folks. You gotta check out the show, especially this week. Coming on from noon to 1 o'clock today. He's on noon to 1 o'clock every Monday through Friday. And then Sports by the Book. Got to have your dose of Sports by the Book, certainly this week. 7 days a week they come on. Monday to Friday, which is today. They'll be on from 3 to 4. Saturday and Sundays, they follow us 8:30 to 10 a.m. Shows that are must-watches if you're going to play sports and enjoy some great programming, that's for sure. Let's bring in John Lindo. John Lindo, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. Hey, I tell you what, we always say the South Point loves horse players. Well, they took it literally yesterday, huh?
They sure did, and I got to tell you that you didn't want to argue with the Clydesdales. Whatever they wanted to bet, you took the bet.
Well, they're gentle giants. They're great to be around, and you see them walking through a crowd like that. Don't turn our hair. They're pretty cool. Yeah,
it's amazing. It was an awesome sight that just had you dropping your jaw and seeing them up close and seeing how massive and how beautiful they are. Really, it's one of God's great gifts, the horse, that's for sure. All right, no Santa Anita today. What's going on in Southern California? We ready for a big weekend there?
We hope so. Yeah, the sun's out now. We had a little rain last night here in Carlsbad, where I live, just a little bit off and on. But I think the track is open today for training, which is a much-needed change of pace, and we'll get going. And the weather's supposed to be good this weekend, so hopefully we get back on the turf tomorrow and Sunday as well.
Oh, that'll be great. That's for sure. And I got a feeling that there's a little pent-up interest from both the horsemen and players. We want to get started playing some races there. But in the meantime, we'll take a look at racing anywhere around the country that we think we can make money on. Boy, Luis Saez was the key to that big payoff in the jackpot yesterday at Gulfstream. Amazing that he paid $60 and change on a horse.
Yeah, he's one horse player's friend with over $200,000. They hit that jackpot with the carryover, so they start all over with their rainbow again at Gulfstream today.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And John, I know that you have a very much of a dedication to the horse players out here, especially at the South Point. And when Southern California has these days where they have a short week or days when they have cancellations, you reach out and look for another product, another track, so you can handicap for the race players out here. And they really appreciate that. And that is the case today with Santa Anita being canceled. You decided to do another Gulfstream sheet for today. Your full Lindo report for today's racing at Gulfstream, available in the race book right here, free of charge, exclusively, only here at the South Point, free of charge, the Lindo report. And, of course, you have selections in all the races, a suggested late pick 4, and a lot of goody information as well. And, of course, tomorrow and Saturday, as we were talking about how the Coast to Coast Pick 5 is such a great bet as far as payoffs are concerned right now, you do a selections on the Coast to Coast Pick 5 on the weekends too.
Yeah, I like the sequence tomorrow for that Coast to Coast Pick 5 as well. And Sunday they'll have one. They have a 9-race card Sunday with an 11 o'clock first post. They'll get done, and we'll watch the kickoff of the Super Bowl. Yeah, as far as Super Bowl Sunday, 3 tracks will go early than their usual Sunday post times. Aqueduct will go at 8:30. Golden Gate will kick in at 11:15, and Santa Anita's first post time will be 11 o'clock. Everybody wants to get done by the time the kickoff in the Super Bowl, that's for sure. Hey, John, you got a pick for us today at Gulfstream? Yeah, let's go to race number 6 at Gulfstream. I thought number 4, Naughty Favors, ran like a filly that might have bled in her debut. She comes back off a layoff on Lasix, drops in class from a barn that does very well with fresh horses. A lot of things in her favor today to run a much better race. 5-1 on the program. Number 4, Naughty Favors, race number 6, Gulfstream Park. Now, that 6th race at Gulfstream, 5.5 furlongs for 3-year-old filly maiden claimers on the organic dirt. The good old-fashioned dirt. Okay, good enough. In the 6th race, number 4, Naughty Favors. The 4 in the 6th race at Gulfstream. John Lindo's pick for the race day listeners. Don't forget, get the rest of that sheet today for Gulfstream right now, right here at the South Point Racebook. And John will let you relax and enjoy. And then, man, we're going to get it ready for the big weekend here, that's for sure. Thanks a lot, John. Yeah, say hi to those 300,000 friends of yours that came into town for the game. Yeah, how about that, huh? This place is, the whole town is packed, and such high anticipatory energy. It's just great, that's for sure. Thanks, John. All right, good luck today. All right, now we're going to go to Jerry Jackowitz standing by. Jerry, of course, coming from his domicile. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. I like that. Participatory excitement, enthusiasm.
Well, anticipatory and participatory, that's for sure.
But we really are, This is a Super Bowl where it's Mahomes Andy Reid, Spagnuolo on one side, and then you have Deebo Samuels, McCaffrey, Stranahan on the other side. It's
give a little love to Mr. Purdy. He got him there, you know.
Yeah, Purdy's a nice quarterback.
Okay, all right.
He throws the ball well. He's shifty. He's fast. He's a modern-day quarterback for sure. But he isn't Mahomes.
No, well,
he's no Mahomes.
I agree with that. Now, Jerry.
And nobody else is either.
Yeah, he's the GOAT right now.
Right.
Jerry, I know that, of course, you play the races and all that stuff there, and you're a fan, obviously, of the Raiders and the Giants. We've seen your get up to throughout the NFL season. But will you partake in making a wager here in the Super Bowl?
I am in Las Vegas.
Okay, enough said there. That's for sure. All right. Well, we don't have Santa Anita today, so we're gonna, I guess, extract a couple of picks from you at Aqueduct.
Sure. Okay, let's go to the first race, Ralph. Number 7, Calling an Audible. Really has never run a bad race. Run 4 times. They're all pretty okay. Handles the distance of a mile. None of the other horses, I think, can get a mile, except for maybe the first-time starter. We don't know about her. So this horse at 2-1 actually seems like value. It seems like the horse should be like 4 to 5 to me. So based on the morning line, 2-1 has enough value to make a bet here. I'll probably play the 7 over the 2-4, reverse the 2-4 over the 7 small, and then maybe press up 7-2-2-7. This 2 is the first-time starter.
All right. And as you say, when we're talking about the handicapping, a lot of people like the fact that we had enough time to talk about how you view the power page and how people can view the power page and looking for value bets. This is one of them because the 4, one of your link ups is 15-1 on the morning line, and the 2 is 5-2 on the morning line in a race where I believe there's going to be a lot of action switching. I don't see a horse getting really bet down a lot. I think it's a pretty competitive maiden race for 3-year-old fillies.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I hope you're right, Ralph. I mean, one thing people don't understand is that a short-priced overlay, because they do come in more frequently, is actually a very good bankroll builder.
Okay, so in the
first, it's a short-priced overlay, but if it goes down to 6 to 5, even money. Just forget I said anything.
Okay, you got it. Based on the closing odds, or based on the odds that you'll accept, in the first race, post time at 9:50 a.m. Pacific time. In the first race, the 7 over the 2-4 and reverse. And we'll extract another one out of you.
Oh, yeah, I feel the extraction coming. Let's go to race number 7.
All right.
Number 7, Authorized. I gave him out on the show. In fact, he was a winner for us on January 7th. Paid 7-1, and he's 6-1 today, going up in class. But this is a really interesting 5-year-old who started out in 2021 and then got laid off for 2 years. And Mott's brought this horse back very carefully, and he's showing real nice speed. And we're now back at the 6 furlong distance. Am I right about that? Yes.
Yes.
We're back at the 6 furlong distance, and I'd give him another chance to improve off that nice, easy win that we had. Let's take him going up in company. The 7, but you got to get 4-1 or better. The 7 Authorized in race number 7. The 7 over 3, 4, 6, and 9. 2 reverses 3, 4, 6, and 9 over the 7. I should have marked this a pop-out key. I don't know why I didn't, but
okay,
he's definitely a pop-out key.
Would you mind if I asked you to throw in the 10 too?
What I'm on. Let me take a quick look.
Thrill of it all.
Well, I have him right in the middle. This is actually a really good idea, Ralph, where, there's a horse that's right in the middle of the ratings. He's on the cusp. He's got a good trainer. He comes off a nice win. Also, same kind of angle. Why not? Maybe I made a mistake and didn't.
No, that's okay. That's we share ideas.
I'm adding him in, Ralph.
You said we share ideas, so I thought that would be it.
Right.
Now
I'm adding him in.
It's a wide link up, but the 7 over the 3, 4, 6, and 9 for Jerry, and he's going to throw in the 10 at my suggestion as well.
It's part of my play. I won't bet them all equal amounts. I'll bet them in varying amounts. I'll take a little from one and add it to the 10. It'll work out.
All right. The 7 is the key, though, in the 7th race. By the way, the 4 happens to be a V horse on your sheet, and we all know that those horses are must-use in these gimmicks, etc. All right. The power pages for today at Aqueduct available right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. We are heading into the big weekend. Oh, man. You can feel it coming. And I'm telling you, folks, if you're going anywhere in Las Vegas besides your living room for the game, the South Point is the place to be. In the meantime, go ahead and say it, Jerry.
Have a great race day, everybody.